Was good, ballers? This is Jim's Ballin' back again with some little thoughts and recap on this latest Lions game. And wow, that was just cinema. That felt completely scripted, but a game scripted for the Lions, that's like never happened until recently. So I mean, I'm in favor of it. So the Lions down 23-7 at halftime, somehow scored 19 points in the second half, unanswered to win this game, and just unreal. Shout out to Jake Bates, just MVP of the game easily. And both those kicks, I mean, when I talk about this being scripted, this felt like it was a movie. Both kicks just barely going good, barely inside the uprights, just both times. Those two kicks at the end just is absolutely unreal. It felt so scripted. It felt like a movie, but it's a win. And the thing is, you'll take a win any week, even if it's not pretty. A win's a win. And the thing is, good teams always find ways to win football games. I mean, when you look at the Chiefs this year, they've looked really ugly at times, but they're still somehow undefeated. They blocked a field goal to win this week. I mean, that is ridiculous. They should have lost that game, but they somehow won. Same for the Lions this week. Good teams will always find ways to win football games. And this Lions team is good. There's reason why they talk about the Lions and the Chiefs being the two best teams, and it's for a reason. And there's not too many games where you're going to throw 5 interceptions and still win, but somehow it happened. Just ridiculous. But yeah, we can talk about Jared Goff, and I think we need to have a real discussion about him. 15 of 30, really gross, 5 picks. The 3 picks in the first half I can kind of excuse. They were on tip passes and then the Hail Mary at the end of the half. I mean, like, honestly, the Hail Mary pick doesn't really count. The first 2 being tipped, I mean, that's tough. But the 2 in the second half, those were ugly. And it showed that this Lions team, they are not good when Jared Goff has to play hero ball. You look at this game and then you look at the Bucs game where they lost. Both of those games, it forced Jared Goff to be the hero. And it was not pretty. And we did not see this Lions team clicking as much as it has before. Jared Goff is still a really good quarterback, but this game just kind of showed that Jared Goff is not in that elite quarterback tier. He is kind of a game manager. I mean, not to hate on Goff, I'm still glad he's Lions quarterback. I want him to be, and he's still better than probably half the quarterbacks in the league, right? But he kind of needs a good running game and some good play calling from Ben Johnson to be super successful. I mean, most quarterbacks would need that to be successful, but Jared Goff, I mean, that's when he's at his best. And just seeing him playing from behind, seeing him trying to force stuff, it was not good. But when you play against good teams, you might see this bad version of Jared Goff where he needs to force stuff. But most often than not, we've seen this team click a lot better, seen this offense run a lot better, and not have to see Jared Goff force stuff and have to be the hero. So just hope that we don't see this version of Jared Goff anymore this season. Definitely not during the playoffs. But yeah, definitely shout out to the defense. The defense was very good, I'd have to say. In the first half wasn't the best, but obviously the turnovers, that's tough to defend after those. And I was most disappointed at the end of the first half, the 2-minute drill by the Texans, giving that up. That was gross. I was really disappointed in that. But besides that, for most of the game, they played pretty well. Both the Carlton Davis picks in the second half, those were great. That really fired up this Lions team. Without those picks, I don't think they win this game. And let's look at Joe Mixon. 25 carries for 46 yards, 1.8 yards per carry. That is insane. That is great. That is great defense. Being able to stop the run. They've shown that this Lions team, they're able to stop the run and get turnovers, and that's what's really helping them win games. This defense is also very much a definition of bend, don't break. Only gave up 2 touchdowns today, otherwise mostly field goals, and they got important stops when they needed it the most. Gave up 0 points in the second half. That is really great. Like, we need to have some discussions about how good this Lions defense is. a lot of the talk about the Lions is the offense, which is deservedly so. Look at the offensive line. They're ridiculous. Great running game. Lots of stars on the offense. So, I mean, obviously the offense is really good for the Lions, but this defense, it's underrated. It's really good. I think for the Lions to be successful, they just need to get enough stops on defense and be able to run the ball. Because look at the first half, they ran the ball terribly. The second half, they ran the ball, still not the best, but had more success running the ball in the second half. And that's what led them to get more points. And for the Texans, I'm not an expert about their team. I don't know exactly what they need, but I know one thing they definitely need is Nico Collins back and healthy. Stephon Diggs is out for the season, and when they signed him, it kind of seemed like, oh, these Texans wide receivers, this is stacked. They're all great, but just with Stephon Diggs out, Nico Collins out, Tank Dell is not a wide receiver one in the NFL. I mean, he's still a great wide receiver, but he cannot be a top guy. He's just not that good, not that talented. CJ Stroud needs Nico Collins. He needs better guys to throw the ball to. They need to run the ball better. Like I said earlier, Joe Mixon, 25 carries for only 46 yards is disgusting. That is gross. They really needed Joe Mixon to have a lot better of a game, but the Lions defense, shout out to them. They were able to stop the run, and that's what they've really proven. That's something they've really honed in on, is being able to stop the run. And even with Goff throwing all those interceptions, I mean, the run game is kind of what it came down to. The Lions were able to run the ball well enough, and they were able to stop the Texans from running the ball. So, and shout out to Jake Bates MVP, plus those kicks. I mean, Lions were able to get it done, and I mean, a win is a win, and you'll take a win any week. So yeah, really gross game. Shout out to the defense. Shout out to Jake Bates. Hopefully Jared Goff cleans things up. Hopefully they're able to run the ball a lot better than this game. Yeah, the Texans are a good team, and this is a good win. The Lions are now 8-1, which is crazy to think about, and the Texans will fall to 6-4. So yeah, that'll pretty much wrap it up for this video. Thank you for watching, and shout out to the Lions.